Your right to counsel, Mr. Shelton. Do you have anything to say, Mr. Shelton? Do you have anything that you'd like to say, Mr. Shelton?
Yes, Your Honor. Should I stand?
Please.
Your Honor, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm just a regular guy. I am not a flight risk. And this is my first alleged offense. And the prosecution has not presented one single piece of evidence against me. Now, in these circumstances, unless the state has obtained some new piece of information relating to my involvement in the matter in question, then I find it highly prejudicial, even constitutionally offensive, to keep me detained without bail. It's a slippery slope, Your Honor. Haven't we seen the result of such violations both internationally and domestically? Case in point would be Dave v. McDonough, docket number 041325.
I am actually inclined to agree with you, Mr. Shelton.
Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining something about the justice system, what I honestly feel about it, from my own personal, I just say my own opinion on it, and to present what I feel about this movie. You know, as far as a review, I think this is a very good movie. And even though there's some parts in it that are just a little too extreme, the idea of how corrupted the justice system is just basically social Darwin. Things are not about right and wrong. It's not about who deserves what, who doesn't deserve what. It's about who can give the best convincing argument, regardless if that person is guilty or innocent. And people that go to prison for petty little crimes, while other people they do more heinous crimes, they get less sentences. And they get let out. Not all of them, of course, but some of them do. And for those of you who want to know the answer to the question of why does this happen? Why is there corruption in the justice system that bad? And why does this happen? Why does that happen? From what I suspect, and of course this is not conclusive, I'm not trying to say this is what it is. I don't know for sure. But again, this is not conclusive, but this is what I kind of think most likely is the reason why. So I hope you enjoy this video. So let's get to it.
Your Honor, Mr. Shelton has agreed to give us a full confession.
Has he given it, Mr. Rice?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then, in my opinion, the state has failed to establish a compelling basis for its motion, and I will grant bail in the amount
Your Honor, I would caution you not to do that. Thank you.
Excuse me?
No, I don't think I will excuse you. You see, this is what I'm talking about. You were about to let me go. Are you kidding me? This is why we're here in the first place. You think I don't remember who you are, lady?
I would tread carefully, Mr. Shelton.
Well, how carefully should I tread? Because apparently I just killed 2 people. And you were about to let me walk right out that door. How misguided are you? I feed you a couple of bullshit legal precedents, and there you go. You jump on it like a bitch and eat. Folks, you all hang out in the same
Mr.
little
Shelton,
club.
you
And
will
every
be held
day
in
you let
contempt of this
madmen and
court.
murderers back on the street. You're too busy treating the law like it's a
One more
fucking
time.
assembly line.
One more
Any
time.
idea what justice
You
is?
are now
Whatever
in
happened to right
contempt
and
of
wrong?
court.
Jesus
Remove
Christ,
this
whatever
man
happened to
from
right and
my-
wrong? Whatever happened to the people?
Bail denied.
Whatever happened to
Bail
justice?
denied.
And I bet you take it up the fucking ass, bitch.
Bailiff.
I see you later, Nick.
And that shows a perfect example of what I mean. It's basically what you can prove, and regardless of whether that person is innocent or not. And as far as prosecution goes, there's too many lawyers, prosecuting lawyers, who don't really care. There's some that do, of course, but there's too many that don't really care about whether that person is guilty or not. All they care about, and what they always cared about, is how many people they could actually put in prison. Is that competition, because they gain points and, of course, a bigger paycheck. That's just how it is. They don't care about right and wrong. They don't care about ethics. They don't care about justice the way it's supposed to be. All they care about is advantage. The advantage they give them. And there's a lot of prosecuting lawyers that are so overzealous. They think that or just about, if not all of them, most offenders are just the scum of the earth. And they think in their mind, this guy needs to be put away. I don't care if he has a messed up childhood. There's no excuse for what he did. They're all garbage, they're all this and that, and then they just, with seething hatred and animosity, they do whatever they can to put these people in prison. There are people that deserve to be in prison for the heinous crimes that they did, for the atrocities that they did. Yeah, of course. But you got to keep it within reason. You can't just put people in prison that don't really deserve to have a 25-year sentence or to serve life for something that is not really that severe. Like someone doing 20 years for having marijuana, or someone who's only doing like about less than 10 years for first-degree substantial battery. And just because they have some kind of advantage, they manage to get themselves a good lawyer and they get off. Or they end up doing like 3 or 4 years in prison at the most. Or they get reduced to manslaughter and they only do a couple of years. There's situations like that. So it's really all about advantage, what they can get out of it. Lawyers, prosecuting lawyers that are overzealous. They're just too messed up in the head and they want to go after anybody they believe are scum. And it's also about competition. We live in a world where everything is very socially Darwinistic. Every aspect of life is social Darwin. Who can give the best argument? Who can actually convince? The competition for power, the have and have-nots, all of that. That's all of what it's about. And what I like about this movie, how it actually tells more on the actual truth. Especially this scene.
Do you trust me? Do you trust me, Clyde?
Yeah, of course.
Darby has agreed to testify against Ames. With Darby's testimony, Ames will go to death row.
And what about Darby then?
Darby will plead guilty to murder. degree, third.
He serves, what, 5 years? At best. I don't understand. I'm sorry.
We had a setback, Clyde. The judge ruled that the DNA was inadmissible.
What?
Exclusionary rule. The opposing counsel maneuvered.
You said this part of the case was clear cut. We had the blood on his shirt.
It's covered under the same
Well,
rule.
then what about the rest of the forensic evidence?
It's not conclusive, Clyde.
Okay, well, that's okay, because I saw their faces. I saw them do it. I mean, come on, little girl, man.
You blacked out, Clyde. Your testimony won't be reliable. You get on the stand and the defense will tear you apart.
No, the jury's gonna believe me, though. Because it's the truth. We can
We
win this
could
case.
lose. And then we'd have nothing. You would waste a whole year, spend millions of dollars, and then both of them can end up going free.
Nick, both of them are guilty, especially Darby. You know that.
It's not what you know, Clyde. It's what you can prove in court.
Please don't make it through this. Please don't make it through this, man. He's a loser.
The deal is done. I'm sorry. I made the deal.
How could you do that?
This is just how the justice system works. Listen, I know you don't think it right now, but this is a victory for us.
Your office has certified this agreement?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say thanks for being in my corner. It's nice when the system works, right? Get away from me.
Let's go.
And this is exactly what I mean. The justice system is only in favor of what I would call social Darwin and nothing more. And I hate to admit that this is how it is. I wish that things could be actually the way that they're supposed to be. Unfortunately, we don't live in that type of world. It doesn't mean that things can't change for the better. It can. But it's going to be an uphill battle. Again, a very good movie. You know, as far as my review, it's a very good movie. And this is how it is. And for those of you who want to drop a comment, have any questions or whatever, just tell me how you really feel about it. So, with Christmas coming up, it's already December 1st. And hopefully you guys see my other video on about Christmas being a pagan holiday that has nothing to do with Christianity. That's a very good one. And that and a scary story or something on the real truth about Santa Claus. It's very disturbing, and I don't want to ruin anybody's childhood on it, but it's also very good. Hopefully you get to see that too. Those videos are already done, so just look them up under Dare to Speak and you'll find it. So to all of you, take care.